What's up, family? I'm back, and I'm going to talk about the state of the country today. You know, which direction is going in or not going in. Uh, the State of the Union, normally it's in January. I found out it's March 7th, and we'll see if your President Joe Biden, what he's going to say, if he can remember, and how he's going to sum up how the country's been all of last year and then going into as we continue this year, it's an election year, so you're just really gonna be trying to make yourself look good with the numbers. But I don't. America is upside down right now, and you know how they go in, and at first they want to start with the jobs report, and they gonna make themselves look good. This being from a Democratic point of view, since he's a Democratic president, and they like to feed us a lot of stats and what they've done, and they'll bring out a certain family or a certain person from 2023 just to make their Democratic Party look good. But I'm giving a point of view not from Republican or Democrat, just from an independent. And like I say, they start with the jobs report. And speaking of that, they already got an article. Let's go into that. And as of last month, they added a lot of jobs, 353,000. That's all nice and good. But one thing they don't say is, were these part time, or if they were full time, were they, how much were they paying? Were they just median me, minimum wage? That's not a livable wage. You can't really live off of that. They don't say exactly what type of jobs were added, how much they're paying, and people can actually live off them. They love to throw the numbers in. 353,000. That's good for January last month. And by the time he does his State of the Union March 7th, he'll probably add the February in there, and I'm sure he'll throw in some 2023 numbers as well. But we can't leave out UPS laid off 12,000 people earlier this month. So that's part of it. So the numbers added are good, but people are still struggling. So this is the first thing they like to throw out to show how good things are necessarily going. But I always question the type of jobs when they talk about job growth, what was added, and the type of jobs and the pay. You can add 500,000 jobs, but is it keeping up with inflation? Can people actually survive on those jobs that they need to, or more? So that's, I never fall for the added jobs report to see exactly what direction America is headed in. And then, speaking of the inflation, that actually, as of last month, it actually rose. The consumer price index, 3.1%. And, food is still up at the grocery store. The average price of a car is up. Home loans are up to try and get one. And so people are still feeling the inflation as of last month, you know. So that's another thing to look at. Hopefully they lower it later on in the year. I'm not exactly sure. They're talking about it. It can definitely help. But this is just some of the breakdown of it, as you can see. And this is as of last month. And we'll see how that plays into the actual State of the Union, because I'm sure that's going to be one thing that they got to tackle. And then you can just see how much things have rose in terms of how much they cost due to inflation, like electricity, your motor vehicle insurance, all of that. Take a good look at this chart, and it shows the percentage increase. So it's just some things to keep in mind in terms of where the country is going. And so it's something to we got to keep that in mind and make sure we listen with both eyes open when they do the State of the Union, because it's definitely going to be much anticipated with how things are going. Inflation, added jobs, layoffs, and then of course we got to go and pick on the migrants again and how that's going to be addressed. I think that's going to be the elephant in the room when March 7th comes and the president does the State of the Union. Those migrants, they're a never-ending story, and it definitely has to be dealt with in a better way. The cities just don't have the money to house the people that's illegally coming over here, that they're letting over here. And so, speaking of the migrants, you going over there, uh, New York City Mayor Eric Adams, they're going to be getting debit cards. Nothing too crazy. It says $12.52 per person, and they'll be allowed to get food and certain baby supplies, SNAP, WIC, but they still helping them. There's homeless people that could use prepaid debit cards, but they're giving it to the migrants. And that's just the start of it. Eventually they'll probably find ways to get more money than that. They're definitely being taken care of. And, here's a picture of some here, and they be having on Air Jordan shoes. They got cell phones, nice clothes. I've also, you can see this picture here. He's got on some Air Jordan shoes. Some of them even have on Amiri jeans. And I looked up Amiri, and I'm like, how are they even getting these jeans? Some in New York City had them on, and you can see how much Amiri is. The cheapest one on here was $750. These are the men's. Well, we talking $1,000, $2,000 jeans that some migrants have had on. And so they're really outfitting these people with, good quality clothing. Yet homeless people been running around with the same clothes for the longest. So that's other things to take into account then. And we'll see what happens with this State of the Union next month. What I'm doing is State of the Disunion, because I think America is headed in some of the wrong directions. What do you guys think? Is America going where it's supposed to, or you think that it needs to do an about face? You know, let me know in the comments, and like, share, and subscribe, and just listen to the State of the Union next month with both eyes open, and it's an election year, and it might change a decision come November. That's all for now. Till next time.